Hello, today is August 16th, and for today's Leetcode problem, I'll be doing number 22, generate parentheses. Alright, let's get started. So given n pairs of parentheses, write a function to generate all combinations of well-formed parentheses. Alright, so I think what we're trying to do is all combinations of well-formed parentheses. So for n equals 3 pairs of parentheses. So this is all combinations for 3 parentheses. First of all, to check for valid parentheses, use a stack, right? That's the first thing. But now, if you want me to generate like all the combinations, that's the hard part. After thinking about this, I think that I am going to use a helper function where it will recursively call itself until it reaches 3 opening parentheses. Until it reaches n opening parentheses. For each function call, it will either close the parenthesis if possible, or open another parenthesis. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's do helper opening as int. I wonder if that works. Let me try. Right, and I also gotta put a stack to verify the parentheses. So let's call it valid paren equals a stack. Let's taking a copy of the stack. Alright, let's get rid of that actually. Now I need to do the opening stack or closing stack. So opening stack equals stack, closing stack equals stack. I think it's good for me to do copy. Copy. So if opening is not equals to 0, opening stack dot append a opening parenthesis, and then if closing stack equals dot top is a top closing stack dot pop. This probably won't work, but if opening equals 0, that means it's pretty much done. Right, I'm not recursively calling anything right now. What I need is up here. If opening equals 0, then I valid paren dot append, and that means this one is just, let's call it paren instead. I don't have to worry about copy now. Dot append paren, so I don't need that. And then this one is helper paren opening -1. This equals that closing stack equals closing stack -1. I should probably keep a closing count as well. It doesn't really need it to be dot top. I think I just need it to be closing not equals to 0. then I can just do closing stack plus equals closing and helper closing. Ah, I see. Yeah, this should be opening stack. Not opening anymore, so this is just a opening, let's call it string, and then this one is closing str, opening and closing -1. Start string equals opening, right? And then I can just call helper with the start string, and then n-1 for opening and n. I'm gonna return valid paren and print out valid paren here instead. Alright, let's check what we have. Closing oh shoot. This one should be str. Oops, forgot the n here. Alright, cool. Let's see what do we have. Okay. If opening is 0 and paren, length of paren is equal to n times 2. Oh wait, no. Hold on. If opening equals 0, okay, yeah. So that should be that. Now if length, yeah. So now both of these will be in here. Okay, let's see what I did wrong then. What am I missing so far? I don't think I need the opening string. Yeah. I just need it to be, whatchamacallit, paren plus that. Also print out the paren. Okay, so we start with this one, which is not right. Okay, good. Right, so we start with 3 this, which is right here. Oh, maybe I sort it at the end. Valid paren dot sort. Did I do it wrong? Is that not how I sort it? Valid paren equals valid paren dot sort. Is that not how you sort a list? Alright, bro. How about that? Right, okay. So return something. Oh, and closing equals 0. There you go. How about that? That should make it so both sides goes to 0. Good. This is all the combinations right now. I need to knock this one out and knock these one out. And then I'll be good. Okay, so let's not call it valid paren. I'm changing this to return. I'm just call it return. Closing goes 0. Okay, then that, right? That's when I do it. Yeah. So valid paren here, I am going to make it equals to paren. So while valid paren is not equals, well, the length of valid paren is not equals to 0, we compare the first one, valid paren is equal to an opening, then return else, then that means this is a closing parentheses. With that, we do probably valid paren -1. Oh, maybe I can also have like like a closing parent count. If that and closing paren count is equal to 0, then we return. Let's do that. Valid paren -1 closing paren count plus equals 1. Then I do return. If not, put it out here. Closing paren count minus equals 1. Oops. That sounds good. Time limit exceeded. Oh, oops. Valid paren equals valid paren equals. There you go. Let's see if the whole thing works. 8. Now that's crazy, bro. Oh. Yeah, I think I print too much. Let me see if I get rid of that. Yeah, I just print too much. There you go. It's kind of dookies, but I did it. So let me explain my solution. I began with creating a return variable. This is the variable that will return like the parentheses list. I defined it a helper function. The purpose of this helper function is to recursively add either a close an opening parentheses or a closing parenthesis. Of course, it depends on the number of pairs of the available parentheses. If the parentheses string reaches the n pairs, then it will check for the valid parentheses. Because this helper function gets all combinations of the parentheses, not just the valid ones. And yeah, that's pretty much the helper function. To actually get the start string to be just one opening parenthesis. And then call the helper function. Lastly, I sort this. Honestly, I don't know if that will work, but I sorted the list just in case. And yeah,